Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the best coming of age podcast to ever be made. I'm just saying. That's what my mom said, anyways. And I put that in the podcast description because I thought it was funny. But, if you're new here, my name is Kayla. I'm 20 years old. And today I'm going to be talking about how to make friends, particularly if you're around my age, if you're a teenager, or just a Gen Zer in general. You understand how this goes. I think we have it the absolute worst when it comes to making friends naturally because of the internet. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know, how I've kind of learned how to navigate that while having social anxiety. So yeah, enjoy the episode. Okay, so you already know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna go through my highs and my lows for the week. I actually wrote them down, which is amazing, so I'm not just gonna be blabbering off the top of my brain and trying to remember what happened this week. So, my first high for the week is I've been loving doing my nails. I always come to a certain part of the year where I start appreciating my natural nails more. So I've hit that point in the year and I'm obsessed with doing the cute little colorful French tips. You know what I'm talking about. Um, I've probably posted a picture of them on my Instagram stories or something so far, but I'm absolutely obsessed. I'm not gonna stop doing this for as long as I can, and I just bought this new blue nail polish. It's like this pastel blue. If you know me, I've been rocking the pastel pink for the past year, but now we've switched to blue, and I feel like Cinderella, and I'm in love. So, doing my nails is a high for the week. Choir slash volunteering at church. Volunteering at church has been like an uphill battle because I feel like I've kind of just been walking into doors that aren't necessarily already open for me, but I've just been like walking in and being like, hey, I'm here to volunteer. What do you guys got for me? Because I just love being in church. I love the atmosphere. I love helping in church. I love production in church. I love the whole freaking vibe of it. So I'm gonna walk into as many doors as I can walk into. Whatever door isn't locked, I'm gonna walk into. It might not be open, but if it's unlocked, I'm gonna walk into it. So that's been my high for the week. And I did Easter choir for the past 2 weekends. So I go to kind of like a mega church, low key, but I love it. It's an amazing church. It's not a toxic mega church, if you get what I mean. At least in my eyes, it's not. Maybe I'm indoctrinated and I can't see it. Um, but yeah, I've been loving going to Easter choir. I have a little buddy, a little choir buddy. Um, but it's over now because today's Easter Sunday. I'm recording this on Easter Sunday. Yes. Your girl never stops working. It never turns off. So yeah, that's been really fun. Even though I've sat through probably like 8 or 12 of the services and they're like the same thing over and over and over again. I don't care. I've absolutely been eating it up and they feed us very well, which is so nice. Like every time we go, we have like lunch or dinner, breakfast, like they make sure that we're well fed, that we're hydrated, that everything's good to go, and it's been really cool. And I've loved being there on the weekends, so I can't wait to start volunteering and working on the weekends whenever I get to that door. I haven't gotten to that door yet, and it's definitely locked for right now. So, to be continued on that. I'll update y'all on weekend volunteering later, because it's kind of a big deal, and it's kind of hard to get into, at least from where I'm at right now. Third thing, I have been watching this show on HBO Max, and if you don't have HBO Max, sorry, you can't hang. No, I'm kidding. Totally not sorry you can't hang because I'm actually leeching off of somebody else's account that I probably shouldn't be leeching off of. But anyways, Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer has been my show of choice. I heard about it on the Mallory Bros podcast, but they were talking about the movie and they actually said the show was really trash. But I started watching the show and I freaking love it. It has Daveed Diggs in it. I freaking love Daveed. That is my man's, okay? Ever since I saw Hamilton 2 years after it came out, yeah, I was really late to that train. Daveed was my man's, okay? So I support everything Daveed does. So I'm a be there and I'm gonna watch his leading role in Snowpiercer. And I don't know, I've actually been really enjoying it. It's kind of like one of those like ABC type of shows. It's a TNT show. So it's like one of those like weeknight watches that aren't necessarily the best writing wise, but the suspense is good. It's something to talk about, you know? It's something to watch. So I've been enjoying Snowpiercer. I highly recommend it if you have HBO Max or if you stream things on different illegal platforms, whatever. And I got an extension to my internship, which is really exciting. It's official. I signed the paperwork and everything. I'm coming in tomorrow. Same old, pretty much. You know, everybody knows me. It's like nothing new. I got a slight raise, and yeah, I don't know. It's just exciting that they like me and that they want me to stay on the team and that everything is like working out fine there. I had very low expectations for this job because it's I don't know, it's not necessarily in my line of like what I want to do passion wise. Like I'm not the most passionate about it, but it's comfortable right now and I definitely need something comfortable and something stable, especially income wise because I'm trying to like build myself up. I'm in my early 20s. Like, this is the time to do it. You know, I'm not trying to just wild out and waste money and be broke, okay? That's not where we're trying to go. So, having like a comfortable place to just go to work, see nice, fun, friendly people, get my work done, listen to my cute little audiobooks, and whatever for as long as I can muster, I'm fine with that. So that's my high. I'm fine with an extension to my internship for as long as they will freaking have me, okay? Because the pay is good, the people are wonderful, and the work ain't bad, and it's kind of interesting. So, yeah, there's that. My lows for the week are not knowing how to talk in therapy. It's gotten harder and harder for me to talk in therapy to the point where I kind of like dread therapy, which is terrible. And I'm not sure if it's my therapist or if it's me or what. But like every week, I just find it like harder and harder to just really be open because I feel like every time I finish a session, I feel like I have like like homework assignments for myself, which can't. Ooh, it's 444. Sorry, my brain. I feel like I have homework assignments coming from therapy, which can be a good thing, but I don't know. Recently, it's just been wearing on me. Like, sometimes I just need to, like, get things off my chest and just feel at ease for a little while. Like, I feel like having these mental checklists of things that I'm supposed to be working on myself can be exhausting to just have week after week after week. Like sometimes I just need a break. I don't know how best to communicate that with my therapist and tell her like I have so much going on right now and things are piling up more and more and more like outside of myself externally. So for me to keep having like these internal things that I have to keep checking in on and thinking about and like, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Am I thinking about this? Am I like working through my emotions and my anxiety and blah 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 in this certain way that she's telling me to do like these methods? It's just like it's a lot. It causes me more anxiety for having all of these methodologies and tactics in my brain for how to like combat when my brain wants to do freaking harmfulness to myself and like create negative thoughts, you know? So it's just like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know if that even makes any sense. I hope that wasn't a tangent for no reason and that somebody can relate to that. I mean, it's terrible if somebody could relate to that, but like, it'd be better if I wasn't alone, I guess. Yeah. Another low for the week is trying to avoid burnout while still staying consistent. So, like, I've really been enjoying creating content, don't get me wrong, but I've also had a harder time at like telling myself to stop creating content. Like yesterday, I swear I was making oh my gosh, I made like maybe 5 different pieces of content. And the day before that, 2. And the day before that, like 3 or 4. Like, I don't know what I'm on, but I really need to slow down. I've been very, like, creatively inspired. Earlier in the week, I was super creatively inspired, so I feel like it kind of just spilled over to the end of the week. And then I was like, oh, I just gotta bust it all out. While I have the time to make the content, I need to make the content because I've been creatively inspired but haven't had the time to physically make the stuff that I've been inspired about. Um, but now I'm like dead tired, so I really need to slow down before I hit burnout and completely erase any sign of consistency that I have on all of my platforms. So yeah, and I really value consistency because I really value continuing to build like a connection with y'all. And I don't know. I feel like slowly but surely I am building that connection, but if I don't stay consistent, I feel like the moment I'm not consistent, it's just like we'll go to shambles. And not to say that I have to post like consistently on specific platforms all the time, but just posting in general, like just remembering to post at least on Instagram, at least on YouTube, like at the very least, is like freaking crucial to me. I don't know. And then the last thing is for my low for the week is I'm kind of missing people from my past, I guess. This is healthy to admit. This is completely healthy to admit. I am kind of missing my ex-boyfriend, which is natural because I was with him for 2 years out of my developing adolescent life. So like I think that's entirely understandable and entirely healthy for me to admit. Um and yeah, like I'm not gonna hide that feeling. I'm not gonna shy away from it and be like, "Oh, I don't miss him. I don't miss any of the memories that we made." You know, like that's stupid. Because the summer is coming up, and we had an amazing summer last year together. Like I can 100% admit that. So thinking about like what I'm doing this summer, and thinking about the fact that I'm not going to be doing those things with him, it makes me a little sad, and it makes me miss him. But it doesn't make me miss the relationship. Missing him and the memories that we made together and the relationship, 2 separate things. Leaving that where it's at. And another thing is I'm just kind of missing like old friendships or like growing friendships. You know those friendships that you kind of start in high school or even like in early college and you're just like kind of getting to know them, but then something happens and then all of a sudden you're like not talking anymore and you're just following each other on Instagram and liking each other's pictures. Yeah, I have a lot of relationships that are like that I want to kind of bring back to the surface. And over the past year, I've been really good at doing that. So like there are some more people that I just want to bring like back into my life, back into my circle and be a part of their lives and a part of their circle just because I feel like they're really freaking cool people to be around and like or they were cool people to be around. I don't know who they are now, obviously, because people change. But, like, I don't know. I'd just be interested to, like, sit down and get to know them a little bit better and, I don't know, maybe hang out, have fun. I don't freaking know. I'm just, like, opening myself up to more friendships, I guess, which is cool. I think I'm learning a lot about friendships, which is why I'm making this episode on how to make friends, and I'm trying to give y'all advice on what I've learned about how to make friends. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling about myself. It's been like 14 minutes already. I hope you enjoyed that, if you're at all invested in my life. And let's get on to the advice. Whew, holy cow, I feel like I was talking a mile a minute. By the way, I'm sipping on a little sparkling lemonade from Trader Joe's that my mom bought, and she put like frozen berries in it, and I'm sipping it from like a champagne glass, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm also recording this on Instagram Live practice mode on the Creative Podcast Instagram. If you don't follow that already, you should. You should also take a moment to rate this podcast. You have sat and listened this far. Why not? If you're on Spotify, you can rate it on Spotify. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, not music. If you're on Apple Podcasts, then you can rate it on there as well. And I would really appreciate that. Okay, enough freaking self-promo. I'm just trying to I don't know, remind y'all that these things are there. Because I be forgetting sometimes too when I listen to podcasts. There was just a freaking leaf in my mouth. I guess there was a leaf from the frozen berries. That's kind of gross. Anyways, first tip on friendships is friendships are just as high maintenance as romantic relationships. And do not let anybody lie to you and tell you otherwise. Your friendships are just as important as romantic relationships. And I know that we have not been taught that, especially in the media, like TV shows and books and everything. The friend is kind of valued down here, on the side, but the boyfriend or the girlfriend is up here. But no, they should be equal. They should be equal. And I'll tell you why. So, for me personally, I have always valued romantic relationships over friendships because that's what I was freaking taught. What the heck? I didn't think that it should go any other way. I always knew people would be like girl code or guy code or whatever the heck, but I just thought that meant I don't know, I don't know what I thought it meant. Or girls before bros or whatever the heck. Ugh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that those were just funny little sayings and I didn't really take them seriously. But it's for real. It's for real out here. Friendships take just as much work, time, effort, emotion, love, patience as a romantic relationship does. And it may not be that you are talking to this friend every single day, and it may not be that you are seeing this friend all the time, but just because you're not talking to them and seeing them all the time doesn't mean that there isn't some emotional work being done on the back end in your day-to-day lives. Just thinking of someone and telling them, sending them a cute, quick text message saying that you're thinking of them could, literally change their entire outlook on their day, their entire outlook on their week, their month, however long it is that you speak. And I think having friends that also understand the same thing is really freaking important for you, because doing that and then not having it be reciprocated, it really sucks, It really sucks. So having friends that understand that friendships are just as important as relationships and take just as much effort as relationships is, I don't know, it's a game changer. And then being that friend for someone else is a game changer. Number 2, sorry. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself when it comes to making new friends or developing friendships, because disappointment is a given. You're bound to be disappointed by something, whether or not it's something that you did or didn't do or say, or whether it's something that the other person did or didn't do or say. Disappointment is just bound to happen, and you can't beat yourself up about it. You can't overthink every tiny thing that you said or every tiny thing that you did and blame yourself for the way that relationships, friendship wise, play out. And not everything is in your control. Sometimes people will bring things to your attention about your personality or your behavior that may make them feel uncomfortable or may make them feel a certain type of way. Then I think you can take some time to self-reflect, but still don't beat yourself up about it. Beating yourself up about it, it's counterproductive. Like, it's not going to get you anywhere. You can feel sad and disappointed about the way that things turn out sometimes. You can feel sad and disappointed about the way that you handle things sometimes, but you can't beat yourself up about it, because then you just end up being like stuck and like telling yourself that you can't make friends, or telling yourself that you can't have like a normal friendship and it's just not going to work. And you start like doubting yourself and doubting your ability to just be a human being and create bonds. But you can't do that, because you are a human being and you're kind of like built to create those bonds, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my take. I Let me tell y'all, I have had many a nights where I have come from a social situation and felt so disappointed by what I said or what I didn't say or what I didn't do or whatever, because of my social anxiety and just like being afraid to say different things, or being afraid to just do something simple like go to the bathroom or whatever, like all of that anxiety just building up throughout the day or the night of being around other people and trying to create friendships would just like explode as soon as I got into the car, and I would just like bawl my eyes out. I have full on like 20-minute videos that y'all don't want to see of me just like crying to the camera, because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I make friends? Like, why is this so hard for me? Why is it so easy for everyone else? But it's not easy for everyone else either. Everybody else is struggling just as much as you are. And it took me driving home today from choir to realize how far I've come. Like, on, when was this? On New Year, was it New Year's Eve? I'm thinking. It was New Year's Eve, but it was some night that I was coming from this like young adults thing that I do at church, that I volunteer for at church. And in those situations, you're supposed to be social. You're supposed to talk to people, make new connections, make new friends. And that night, I just wasn't feeling it. I was very anxious, and I just did not like talk to anyone outside of the immediate volunteers that I had to talk to. But like most of the night, I was just by myself and just like walking around and just sad. I was just not in the mood that night. And that's fine. It's okay to be in a social situation and to not be in the mood to socialize. Oh, I think I just said something. It's okay to be in a social situation and be not in the mood or ready to socialize. And the pressure that you may feel from other people around you socializing has nothing to do with you or how you're feeling internally. Nothing to do with you, hun. Like, you absolutely cannot. Oh my gosh, the amount of times that I have done this and that I still do this. I just, I would just look around the room and be like, okay, I brought myself into this situation to make friends and to be social, but I'm not doing that. And then I'd immediately start beating myself up and like being like, everybody else is talking, everybody else is making friends, everybody else is being friendly, having fun, laughing, enjoying their time, and I'm just being like a freaking wallflower. But it's so okay to have those days. It's so okay to have those nights. It's so okay to feel that way, even if you think that doesn't match up with your personality. Even if you think that you are the extrovert, you are the social butterfly, it's okay to not socialize in social situations sometimes. Sometimes all we need is to be in a room with other people who want to be in the same room as us. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes it's not that we need to go out and develop these crazy strong best friends forever friendships in an instance, in the matter of 2 hours. Sometimes all we need is to be in a room with people who also decided to be in that room at that time, and just stand there and just appreciate other people's presence. And I think that that is like underappreciated. I think appreciating just being in the presence of other people who want to be doing the same thing that you're doing or want to be in the same place that you're in is so important and so powerful. And just because you might not come out with a best friend or someone new to talk to every day or every week or whatever it is, doesn't mean that those experiences aren't valuable. It doesn't mean that those social situations aren't important or special, because they're helping you figure out who you are in those situations. They're helping you figure out what makes you comfortable in those situations. They're helping you figure out who you want to be around in those situations. So it's important to put yourself in those rooms, even if you feel like you're not making friends, even if you feel like you're not getting anything out of it. You definitely are. You're learning about yourself, which is so important, and leads to my next point that I didn't write down, that I'm just rambling off. You are your first best friend. If you can't be your best friend first, it's going to be very hard to be friends with other people, because you're not going to know yourself. You're not going to understand what you like or what you don't like. You're going to meet people and make friends and be like, I don't like them, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And you're not going to know why. You're not going to be able to healthily communicate why you don't like something or why you feel uncomfortable by something, because you don't know, yourself. So being your own best friend first is like so freaking important. And I will sip to that, my non-alcoholic beverage that I almost choked on. Okay, next thing. This one's kind of controversial, and I don't even know how I feel about it, because my success on it has been like minimal. You can try. I'm not sponsored by them. You can try Bumble BFF. I don't know. It's kind of a weird way to go about things, but honestly, it works for some people. So if you think that you're the type of person who could meet someone that way, oh my gosh, like, go meet your bestie on Bumble. No. But okay, let me share my experience so y'all don't feel like any type of way. How long have I been on that? I've been like on it, on and off, since last year. Last year, I met one girl from there, and then it led to me meeting another group of girls from there. And I went and I hung out with them once. I hung out with the one girl that I first met once, and then I hung out with the group of them once. And it was good. It was fine. It was a nice night. We enjoyed ourselves, both times I hung out with, and it was wonderful. The conversation at first started off pretty light, and then we kind of just decided, okay, this person doesn't seem weird or like a creeper, so maybe I'd be fine meeting them in a public place. And we did that. We met in a public place, and we went out, we had our fun, we did our things, enjoyed ourselves. But I was not ready to maintain friendships then. And honestly, I think I was just feeling lonely. So I was like, let me go on Bumble BFF and see if I can find freaking other girls to hang out with. And I did that, and it was fun for the time, but I wasn't ready to maintain friendships. And I thought I was ready to maintain friendships, but oh boy, was I not. Oh boy, was I not. I had a lot more internal work to do, hun. So, yeah, I would say that. If you are gonna try Bumble BFF, definitely be straightforward with yourself and with the people that you are trying to befriend about, like, why or what your intentions are for the friendship. Just like you would in a relationship. A healthy way to go about a relationship is to lay out your intentions or your feelings for the person or where you think it would go, how you think you feel about it. Do the same thing for a friendship. If you think that you can see yourself, talking to this person every day or every week and being super, like, consistent and, that kind of friend, super, super close friends, then, let that be known at some point. Or if you feel like, you're not looking for that type of friendship, you're looking for a lower maintenance friendship, like myself. I always look for lower maintenance friendships because I have a lot going on and I can't keep up with too much. So, if you think that that's more your speed, then let that be known at some point. And you have to kind of dictate for yourself when to communicate those things at a proper moment. Like, don't just come out the gate and be like, I'm looking for a low maintenance friend, or come out the gate and be like, I'm looking for a best friend. Like, there are those types out there. There are people out there who are like, I'm looking for a best friend, and I'm looking for, like, out the gate on their freaking Bumble BFF profile, just like very in your face. And if you're one of those people, don't get me wrong, it's, I understand it. You're trying to be very straightforward, and, you may have gotten, like, some form of miscommunication by people who are confused, like myself, or, like, just don't know where they're going with the whole friends thing. But, like, it's just, I don't know. For me personally, it's very, like, I don't know. It's just very in your face. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's just, when I see somebody who's like, I'm looking for a best friend who wants to hang out 24/7, blah, 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 I'm like, whoa, like, I don't even know you yet. So going in with these expectations over being, like, held over my head, like, okay, so are you ready to be a best friend? Are you ready for this challenge? Like, are you that's a lot of commitment out the gate. I don't know what to do with that. So, yeah, that's my spiel on Bumble BFF. I can't keep freaking talking about it, honestly. Um, I don't have too many tips on that because I haven't had a freaking success story yet. I'm on there now, actually, but I'm not, like, actively scrolling people or anything like that. And I've just been messaging this one girl for the past 2 weeks, and we haven't met yet because things have been going on and we haven't had time, but we'll see. Um, Maybe I'll update you on that later if that gets anywhere. So my last tip, and kind of to bring us full circle back to what I started off with, is to reach out to people you already know of. Hello. I know all the girls and guys and everybody else is like, never talk to people that you knew from high school. Never talk to people that you knew from middle school. How embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You should be, like, trying to hide and but forget that. I be talking to people from high school all the time because I made very valuable friendships and connections in high school. High school was a place where I I found my people. I found my people in high school, and I was very comfortable in high school. So sometimes I like to return to that comfort spot. Sometimes going out and trying to meet new people and make new friends, it's just too much for me. And going back to people who I'm already familiar with is just like, it brings me a sense of peace because I don't feel like I have to I don't know, like, exert myself so much and, like, show who I am so much because they already know parts of who I am, you know, at least up until the point where we were in high school. I might be a little bit different now, but that foundation is already laid. That the hard part is already done. Like, I don't have to go back and lay the foundation. It's just there. It's good. It's ready to go. So, I don't know. If you're comfortable enough, like those people that you just follow on Instagram from high school or from wherever, that you don't really see or hang out with, you just kind of like are social media mutuals somehow, reach out to them. Reach out to, just like, it's so easy. It's literally so easy. Well, maybe it's not, but for me, it has become easier over time. If they post Instagram stories, child, watch the Instagram story and reply to the Instagram story. You don't even have to be 100% interested in whatever it is that they posted on their Instagram story. Just reply to it. When you get the nerve to want to talk to them, start replying to their Instagram stories. Start building, here's that consistency word again. Start building a consistent connection with those people that you're social media mutuals with and that you want to befriend, even if you don't already know them. I've mostly done this with people I already knew or like have met in real life. But even if you don't already know them and you're just social media mutuals, reply to their Instagram stories or put comments on whatever they post. Like if they post a new TikTok and you follow them on TikTok, you know, if you think it's funny, laugh, put laughing emojis or like say LOL, this is blah blah blah. You know, like, I don't know. It's not faking it. It's just making that initial contact. I don't know if you all have heard of this before. You probably have. But I've heard this a lot where people sometimes just walk up to people and ask them a random question that they might already know the answer to, but it's just to have that initial contact and to not make it weird. Because it's strange to walk up to someone and be like, "Hi, I want to be your friend. You look really cool. I love your style. I'm really interested in hanging out with you. Would you like to hang out sometimes?" Unfortunately, people don't do that anymore. You know, sometimes I wish they did because it would just be like so much easier to just cut to the chase. But people are uncomfortable with things like that nowadays. People get a little uneasy with things like that nowadays because there are very strange people with strange intentions in this world. So that's completely understandable. So don't do that. But walk up to them. If it's somebody at your college, just be like, "Do you know where the such and such building is?" You know where the building is. Act like you don't know what the building is. Ask them where the building is. They will tell you where the building is. And then you can slide in a compliment underneath the door. You know, like, "By the way, I love your shoes. By the way, I love your hair. I love your style. That's very cool." You know? And they might open up and tell you something else about themselves. And then you have a window. "Oh, what's your name, by the way? I'm Kayla, blah, blah, blah." It's just like, I don't know. This is something I've been working on in therapy. I will tell you, my therapist has helped me with this a lot. It, it's revolutionary. It's revolutionary. She's literally told me how to hold a conversation. I didn't know how to do it before. I really didn't. And she told me. So, cheers to her. Um, so yeah, that's I went completely off topic. Back to the social media thing. And like getting back in the circle of your social media mutuals or getting into the circle of your social media mutuals. Um yeah, engaging with their social media, they'll definitely see it. They'll definitely see it. And they'll be like, "Okay, I see you." Most people post at least Instagram stories. And if it's not about them personally, it's something they found funny or it's something they found enlightening that other people should know. Most people I know post Instagram stories. Even if they don't post Instagram posts, they will post a story. So, there you go. That's your free ticket in. Reply to their Instagram stories. And then, you know, after a while of replying to their stories, maybe not like every story they have or like every day, because that's kind of weird. Like, don't do that. But like, you know, every other day or whenever you see it, whenever you come across it, after a while of that, just be like, by the way, how are you? You know, like, how you doing? If you know them already, or if you don't, that might be a little bit harder. I just realized that. That's terrible advice. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. It's up to you. Take it as you will. But yeah, just be like, how are you? You know, how are things going? Blah, blah, blah. You in school? You doing, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You're at work? You doing work? Okay, that's cool. That's great. Wow, amazing. Come back later. Or keep the conversation going. By the way, I love to hang out sometimes. Would you like to hang out sometimes? You know, just like, don't make it weird. That sounded kind of weird. Would you like to hang out sometime? I would love to hang out with you because, you know. But just like, by the way, I'd love to hang out sometime. We should meet up. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that, homegirls. Home boys. Home everybody. Homies. Anyways, I think that's enough. I am going to finish sipping my bubbly drink. This reminds me of summer. I'm so excited for summer. Don't get me started. And I will talk to you in the next episode. Whenever that comes out. I don't have a release day yet. My schedule is being switched around because of work and everything else. So I'm trying to figure out a good schedule for posting. But I will try my best to post once a week. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be here once a week, and you should be over on the Instagram and rating, of course. And the Instagram is CRE8TIVE podcast. Always link below. So yeah, I will talk to y'all in the next one. Don't be a stranger. Bye.